Hi, this is OG from Crypto Nights. Welcome. Every day on this channel, I will share the latest technical analysis and trade setups for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and altcoins, as well as provide an overview of the updates on the overall cryptocurrency market and the industry as well. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and turn on that bell notification. And this is really important because that way you can get my trade alerts and trade setups in real time. Often there will only be a small window of opportunity of time for you to enter into the same trades that I'm entering into. And so if you're not getting these videos as soon as they come out, there's a likelihood that you will miss those opportunities. So make sure you subscribe and turn on the bell notification. With that said, let's get into today's video. Let's, as always, start with the market overview. So right now, the overall cryptocurrency market cap is at 1.29 trillion, so up slightly from yesterday. The dominance of Bitcoin, though, has gone down, right, at 44.6%. It was at 45.2% yesterday. And the dominance of Ethereum, though, has gone up. Right now, sitting at 16.9%. And if we look at the top 10 to 20 coins, we can see that while Bitcoin has gone up right by 3.6%, Ethereum, along with the other major altcoins, have gone up by more. Right, Ethereum having gone up 6.5%, BinanceCoin, Cardano, right, up around 6% as well. Polkadot up a little bit more, right, and Dogecoin up at 10%. Looking at Uniswap, right, Litecoin, Solana doing double digits as well, Chainlink up around 6%. So all roughly up around 6% with a couple in the double digits, right, while Bitcoin has gone up 3.6%, right? And so, that's why the Bitcoin dominance has gone down slightly, while Ethereum, as well as the major altcoins, their dominance has gone up in the last 24 hours. That said, let's get into the technicals. Looking at Bitcoin. So to recap, right, we had this head and shoulders for Bitcoin, right? It broke down here and we took a short. The target of that short was down here, so we met that target. And so, this is why it's really important to take profits, right? Especially in these range bound market conditions, right? Which Bitcoin has been in for the past 2 months, right? It's been just ranging up and down, up and down. And so it's critical that you take profits because the trade can move against you that quickly, right? If you took this short and if you didn't take profits, well, you know what? You're back at roughly break even now, right? So that's why it's really important to take profits in range bound conditions. Now, with that said, we have now broken back above the 200 MAs on the 15-minute time frame. So what I'm looking for are two things. One, it seems that we might be consolidating here, right? And so if we do get a breakout, either to the downside or the upside out of this range, we could see a potential large move next. The second thing I'm looking for is for this to retest the 200 MAs as support. Typically, though, I would say I would prefer for there to be a higher gap, right? Have more room between the price and the 200 MAs before the test, right? So, ideally, I want to see price go up like this, then retest, and then take a long like that. But, it doesn't always happen like that. So I'm still looking for a potential long if we do come back to test this and have a strong, response here. That said, if we zoom out to the 1 hour, and this is reason why I believe there might be room for price to go up further before we do get some sort of, rejection, which is that on the 1 hour time frame, we have yet to test the 200 MAs, right? So ever since breaking down from 33.8 thousand, we have bounced many times, but we have never really come back to retest the 200 MAs, right? And so this might be the time to do it. So if we do have that happen, then that's another 2 to 3% move from here, right? And this is sitting at 31.5 thousand, right? So we could see potentially another pump to this level before we see bearish momentum come in again. But we'll be monitoring, right? Because if we do pump to these levels, it's also possible that we'll just keep continuing through, that this could have been some sort of macro bottom, right? But it's all too early to tell, but we need to prepare ourselves so that we are ready for any possibility or any scenario, right? And so anyway, those are the two things I'm looking for. Is if we pump up to 31.5 thousand, then I'm looking for a potential short, unless we have a huge pump with a very, very strong momentum, right? In which case I might start to flip bullish on some of the higher time frames. Now on the lower time frame, right, as I was saying, if we do come back to retest, the 200 MAs at 30.3K, then potentially I'm looking for a long. But we will have to see what happens here because it does look like we're consolidating sideways right now, right? Horizontal consolidation. So this could be some sort of mini flag, right? And then we have a continuation. So I'll be looking out for that as well. Now, looking at Ethereum, right? So yesterday I mentioned that it was a double bottom with a neckline at 1770, and we broke out and we're having a nice rally. So in fact, I would say that Ethereum actually led this most recent pump, right? This is what we saw, and let me play you the clip from yesterday. We are looking at a potential double bottom, right? First bottom here, potential double bottom here, and if that were the case, then the neckline would be at roughly 1770, right? And so if we break above this level with strong volume and with a strong candle, I will be looking for a short scalp trade, right? Keeping in mind that we do have potential resistance in the form of the 200 MAs up here. Okay, so yeah, that was from yesterday. So if you had seen yesterday's video, right, if you had been subscribed and had that bell notification and you saw this video in time, you could have, right, taken it long here or even a long here, right? So you actually had a few chances to take this long, right? Either on the initial break or on the retest, right, of this break, and this would have been a very nice trade, right? Up about 6%, right? 5.56% from the point of breakout, right? So again, this is why it's super important to subscribe and turn on the bell notification. I'm not saying that just because I do want to get more subscribers, but I'm also saying that because it actually makes a huge difference as to how much value you can get out of these videos, right? Okay, so with that said, that's it for the technical analysis portion. Let's move on to some news. There are two news stories I want to share with you. The first is this: MakerDAO to dissolve foundation, become truly decentralized again, right? So MakerDAO plans to complete its roadmap to decentralized governance with the dissolution of its foundation in the coming months. And to read you this quote, complete decentralization of Maker means that future development and operation of the protocol and the DAO will be determined by thousands or perhaps millions of engaged, enthusiastic community members, all determined to extend the benefits of digital currency to people across the globe. And so this is coming on the heels of Shapeshift, right? In the form of airdropping Fox tokens, decentralizing Shapeshift the company. And so I think what we're seeing is potentially a larger trend towards a more decentralized organization framework for for projects going forward, right? So instead of revolving around limited liability companies, right, we will have DAOs, right, decentralized autonomous organizations that will run more and more of the decentralized world, right? And so we'll keep an eye on whether or not other companies or other projects also jump on this, on this movement. But Maker as being one of the most important keystones in blockchain, right, in DeFi, in Ethereum's ecosystem, having them make this move really adds, credibility to this movement, right? So, but this is something definitely to keep an eye on, right? Right. So this could be the beginning of a huge sea change in how businesses are run in the world. The next piece of news I want to go over is on Opensea, right? So NFT marketplace Opensea valued at 1.5 billion in a $100 million funding round led by A16Z, right? Andreessen Horowitz. So I think I want to bring this up because Opensea, as many of you know, it's essentially the largest NFT marketplace, and they haven't really done a token, right? So a lot of people have been speculating on when they will release a token, on when, how they could potentially participate, right, in OpenSea. It's been one of those players, right? It's like the number one player in this space, but people haven't been really been able to participate in the success of the project, right? Aside from buying and flipping NFTs in the marketplace. And so I think what this shows is that this, even though there hasn't been a token launched, there's still a lot of value and attributed to what they're doing, right? And so this is companies that are providing value to the community, to its customers, and VCs, finding that value and giving it variations that make sense, right? So, the takeaway for me is that to all the naysayers who say that a lot of these projects are worthless, right? That it's just because tokens are pumped, right? It's all about pump and dump, right? This is evidence that it's not, right? Because obviously OpenSea is being valued like a company as it should, and it's not just about pumping, meaningless shitcoins, right? So I think we are maturing in the crypto space, right? We are seeing some of the initial low successes, and over time, I think we will see more and more to the point where it just the argument that it's this cryptocurrency space is just pump and dump, just shit coins, it's worthless. Not to the point where that would sound stupid that anyone would even say it anymore. And I think something like this is one of the first steps in combating that sort of narrative, right? So with that said, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you do subscribe and hit that bell notification, and see you guys in the next one.